vision and the power of the transcendent, which leads to synchronicity, which leads to good luck, if you will, which leads to being in the right place at the right time. The word synchronicity. Chronos means time. Synchronos means synchronized in time. And if you look at the universe is synchronized in time. And this is because the non-local domain, which we call our spirit or our soul, is a field of correlation. A human body is a field of correlation. An ecosystem is a field of correlation. The universe is a field of correlation. The human body has 100 trillion cells, which is more than all the stars in the Milky Way galaxy. Every cell in your body does 100,000 activities every second. And every cell correlates its activity with every other cell. How does the human body think thoughts, play a piano, kill germs, remove toxins, make a baby all at the same time? And while it does that, your body can track the movement of stars and planets because your biological rhythms, whether they're circadian rhythms, seasonal rhythms, tidal rhythms, gravitational rhythms, these are the symphony of the whole universe. So the universe is a field of correlation, and it's orchestrated by universal intent. Whether you're religious or not, doesn't matter. Intention is now called the observer effect. That intention has infinite organizing power. Intention orchestrates its own fulfillment if it comes from a deep domain. And that deep domain is our spirit or our soul, which is, and I explained this at length this morning, so I don't want to go into details. It's in the discontinuity, it's in the space between your thoughts. In the space. So right now as I'm speaking to you, try this, and we have, 2,000 people here? So here's something we should try just now, all together. As you're listening to me, are you listening? Yes. Now turn your attention to who is listening. So listening to me, turn your attention to who's listening. That presence that you feel, it's a living presence. And it's our soul, it's our collective soul. It's not the mind. Your mind might be saying, I wish I'd gone to the bathroom before the lecture. Why didn't my girlfriend return my call? There's a story, but this is behind the story. This is core consciousness. So this is what we call being. This is the field of correlation, this is the field of creativity, this is the field of uncertainty, this is the field of potentiality, this is the field where there are quantum leaps of imagination. And if you can anchor yourself in this field and introduce intention, that's Dhyan Dharana Samadhi. And then you create rituals around this so that it becomes automatic as long as you don't get lost in the mechanics of the ritual. Because what is ritual? Ritual is a way to trap energy and information and channel it with intention. True rituals, not just doing the ritual for the ritual's sake, but the ritual that understands the field of consciousness as a field of immeasurable potential, as a field that proliferates in uncertainty, as a field that has synchronicity built into it, as a field that's an intention field, and as a field that can take quantum leaps of imagination and creativity. So people say, what is creativity? Creativity is when you have a new context, new meaning, new relationships with the same information. Okay, so there's the same information, the information field is the same, but you create new context, new meaning, new interpretation of relationships. The relationships are also the same. Now you have a creative process. And the creative process is actually something one can learn. You have an intended outcome, you have information gathering, you analyze the information, you incubate in Dhyan Dharana Samadhi, you have a flash of insight. Insight means inner vision. And then you're inspired, then you integrate the vision, and you implement it, and then you incarnate into the new experience. It involves a death, and it involves a resurrection. which is also the best stories, okay? Jesus' Christ story, death and resurrection, okay, which is life. Life is about death and resurrection. In fact, death and resurrection is the mechanics of creativity. Totally. There can be no creativity unless the old dies and a new context is born. So those are the 9 steps to creativity that I just mentioned. First it's intended outcome, information gathering, information analysis, incubation. Incubation is the Dhyan, Dharana, Samadhi. Then the leap of insight. I made it easy for you to remember because all 9 steps involve I. Okay? Insight, and then insight leads to inspiration. Inspiration. What does inspiration mean? In spirit. That's what the word means. Inspiration, and then implementation, then integration, then incarnation. Reincarnation. Old information, but new form. So it's literally reincarnation. And that's the creative process, whether it's in the cosmos, whether it's our own death, or it's a new business. Same process. Okay. So those are the 3 essential ingredients. Do you remember them? Reflection, story, synchronicity. And you are a competent manager and soul of the spirit. Now, let me take you through this right this moment. So, you can all do this individually. Since we have 2,000 people, it doesn't matter. It's even more powerful. Please close your eyes. And put your attention in your heart. And ask yourself a simple question. What kind of world do I want to live in? Don't look for the answer, just listen to the heart and see if any images come, any thoughts come, any insights come. Don't try. Okay, what kind of world do I want to live in? And just listen. Okay, now ask yourself, if you want to, what kind of organization do I want to be a part of? If you're a leader, then ask yourself what kind of a leader I want to be of that organization. You just leave it at that. Ask yourself, what do I see as the promise and the potential? And you can ask